What are we doing?
Welcome to the Yanfana world.
Huh? Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Guilty Gear OST reactions. Today we're going to be covering Bridget, Sin, Bedman, Asuka, and Johnny. I'm sure those will all be quite intriguing. Not gonna lie, sort of looking forward to the next episode though. It's got my girl Abba in it. If you're new here, we know nothing about music. We just really like Guilty Gear lore. So we're gonna sit here and try to analyze the lyrics, probably incorrectly, but that's what we do. There are a ton of comments in our previous reaction telling us to go and react to the Cloud Drop videos. We were recommended to watch these videos from Captain Booker because he updated them with the official lyrics that were released with the DLC. So there you go. We don't need a whole tirade of like 10 plus comments of people trying to correct other people about what the right lyrics are. So anyways, with that out of the way, Bridget, what do you think this theme is? I'm gonna assume both of us haven't heard this.
Something you can yo-yo to.
Oh god, please don't talk about the yo-yo. There's so many Bridget players in the lower floors of the tower. I am sick and tired of playing against Bridget and getting killed by the butt bump. They always try and go for it. I know that they're gonna go for it, so I can just counter it, but still, whenever I forget about it, it's just so devastating. Obviously, this has to do with Bridget's whole struggle about their identity and who they want to be. That's their entire theme for Strive, too. And obviously, the town inside me is referring to her hometown back when the whole, like, oh, the twins, they're going to curse us. We need to make sure they're not the same gender, and so you must live on as a girl forever. Would it be more happy-go-lucky? It has to be, right? I mean, that's kind of Bridget's whole character.
I think it has to be, yeah.
Still talking about definitely that disconnect and that acceptance. There's some more mature themes, but still on the lighthearted side.
That's what I would think.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Do you have the stream unmuted?
Nope.
Oh. There you go, just had to check.
The town inside me and everyone's voice. Only I'm not there, just watching from afar. I can't go home because I'm afraid something will change. Me without me, I'm the one to blame.
A lot of uncertainty. And honestly, if I was in Bridget's position, I wouldn't really want to go home either. I mean, home is where family is, but I don't know how to feel. It's a very complicated family life, isn't it?
I moved on by my own will. I had nothing else I wanted to do. Was it hard? But I didn't hate it. I did not even like it. I've been patient, but it was bearable. I've had the gray haze for a long time though. I never found out what it was. It's my stress, that's for sure. I never wanted to run away.
That's a mood of a statement.
This is a lot more mellow than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Really laying into that uncertainty. And this almost seems like a self-talk more so than really any sort of expression of something.
Yeah, very much internal dialogue for her.
Yeah. This is that scene between Light and L, and they're all just internally monologuing against each other.
Then what is this feeling? Who would I ask? I've been patient, but it was bearable. I've had the gray haze for a long time though. I never found out what it was. I taste like vegetables I don't like.
Damn, eat your veggies, Bridget.
I feel like because it talks about in the beginning, kind of how the village and everything, it seems like that struggle of this is what was set for me. I didn't really have a choice in it, but also these feelings are complicated and that kind of haze of differentiating what was told to her versus what she feels for herself.
Yeah. That was entirely the gist of her arcade story, too. It's just like, well, that's what they said, but like, I don't know how I feel about it anymore. And nobody to talk to, but then you have a Mr. Gold Lewis Dickinson over here, who is ready to have an honest talk with you. Not the character I would expect, but
Gold Lewis and Kai.
Yeah, Kai is just like, you be you. Just forge a path into the future. Always live with hope. The usual Kai stuff.
The town inside me already have the gift, just can't open the box. I know all about it, no one can solve it. Unless I decide to do something about it. It's not even a case. I've been patient, but it was bearable. I've had the gray haze.
It's weird 'cause a lot of this is very like I'm in the same but different situation as Bridget. So it's like it's hard when you reach a point where you kind of internally know for yourself who you are,
Yeah.
but expressing that to others and actually like coming out and living that
Hmm.
is really hard and really scary. So you can kind of see that like staring it, you know it, but also you're not ready to act on it or tell people about it.
That's a interesting perspective for me because, well, here in Thailand, you gotta know that we're very accepting of several different genders and what you want to be. As long as you're not hurting anybody is fine by me. And that's kind of how we live. So with so many people just being like afraid to come out, it's just such a strange prospect to me considering how many like transgender people I know. And that's just like a normalized thing here.
Yes, it and like the state that I live in is very, I guess, progressive in those fronts.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a very conservative family, so it's really rough just to kind of be myself even around my family sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It can be really scary.
I'm guessing the person who would understand the lyrics here most is definitely gonna be you. I can try to appreciate them, but I've never been in that situation.
For a long time though, I never found out what it was. I hate the alarm clock I chose.
Alarm clock I chose, when to wake up, when to come out.
I feel like me without me and like a lot of the like kind of observing yourself from the outside when you go through the motions and just try to live as society tells you to.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's like you're always you, no matter how you present yourself and put yourself forward. But having that kind of incongruence between the way you present yourself to the world versus the way you know yourself to be and are internally can really feel like watching yourself outwardly, or even like almost wearing a costume sometimes, where you're just kind of performatively being someone else almost, even though it's still technically you. I don't know.
Trying to think of how I could add to this. Like, what experience have I had that is anywhere similar to this? It can be maybe comparable to that disconnect that you might feel with a VTuber model that doesn't really match you. That's like the closest I can think of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's supposed to represent me, but is that me? Am I happy with this? Seeing more clearly now, leaving that gray area of flip-flopping between two different identities for yourself and picking yourself up, that side of yourself, who you want to accept. I get that. That's nice. It's a nice send off. Just being like, no matter where I am, like, I belong there. I'm home. No matter what happens, I'm me.
Kind of just the freeingness of being able to live confidently as yourself.
Oh, God. All right. Mr. Sin, you know anything about this?
I feel like I've heard it, but I don't remember. So we'll see if it comes back to me.
I am going to assume modern day shonen anime OP.
That's what I would hope for.
I mean, that's kind of what Sin is. It's just the updated version of Kai. I probably pissed off a bunch of Kai players there. My bad. Oh, he has to mention something about his flag, right? There's got to be some line about that. Either that or the fact that Dizzy is mad at him for not doing homework.
No much I know, understand.
You sure about that?
There are only few words I learned to say, but I don't care. Above is the sky and below is the ground.
Very straightforward.
Okay, I can sort of understand what he's trying to say. It's like, I might not know everything, but I can get a level of understanding of it in my mind of like, yep, that's the sky, that's the ground, this is that. No bullshit, no beating around the bush. It is what it is. And for Sin's level of intelligence, yeah, that's about right.
My heart is here.
And stay true to your heart.
I had a reason to cry. I had a reason to be angry. But I don't care.
You know, I could kind of relate to that. Sometimes there's plenty of reasons to get pissed off at a ton of things or like ruin your own day. But it's always a choice whether you let that control you or not.
Yeah.
You know, life is a lot easier if you're just going through it and being happy and enjoying things. I don't know. I kind of like Sin's outlook on this. It is simplistic, but sometimes you need to decomplicate life. I don't even think that's a word, but I like it. Time doesn't go backwards. Wait a minute. On its own. Sin have time warping powers. Are you Axel?
I really enjoy Sid's character.
He's all about having fun, living life. It's a fresh new perspective on things, as opposed to the more experienced veterans who've seen it all. It's a very stark contrast to somebody like Soul, who's grumpy old scientist man that punches things really hard all the time. Yeah.
I like the just happy-go-lucky 90s characters sometimes. They're just a vibe.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not old yet, man. I'm just here to enjoy things. I'm not search for goals, you know, get that, like, minimum salary per year. I'm not thinking of that.
But I don't care. Sometimes I don't think so. Yes, I know.
Dude, I don't think you think at all most of the time. You just gotta go by your gut. I genuinely would not be surprised if there is, like, no brain in that noggin. That's probably why you don't doing your homework. You just can't think. Head empty all the time.
That's why I never stop.
Ooh. That was fun.
Actually, I like that. I like this. It's kind of vibey.
For whatever reason, the piano sort of reminded me of the No Game No Life OP. I don't know. That's what I thought of.
I mean, that has a piano in it. I don't know that
It does. It does. Yes. I don't know the exact notes or the rhythm of it, but that's like immediately what popped in my head.
Will be the hourglass does not turn upside down on its own. The Montana know it will work out. Just go with what I feel, yeah.
It's a really
I
good
feel like
pick-me-up
Finn
song.
would believe that he could turn back time if he put in enough effort.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And considering he's the new shonen protagonist, he probably could. He's also, like, half dizzy, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's a plot point later on in the series. When your mom is somebody who can just destroy the world on a whim, you probably are quite powerful yourself.
Even when he got nerfed, he had to get eye taken out.
He had to be. It was too powerful. Oh, jeez. Advice, one smile.
He's just enjoying life.
Man. Will's going around beating up people with his flag, being like, wow, this is so wonderful. Everybody else is just lying crippled on the ground. They'll never be able to financially recover from any of this. But at least Sin's having a good time.
Imagine getting your ass beat by just a young guy in a flag.
Also, dang it, I missed my opportunity. I wanted to make the joke when you said that he had to get one of his eyes removed. You know what eye reminds me of, Servi?
What? What, Zero?
The Somnia Files! Man! Isn't that great? What a fantastic game. And unfortunately, we forgot to reference it in our last reaction. I was so disappointed in myself. We broke the streak.
What kind of AI evolve do you think Sin would have?
It has to be like the complete opposite of Sin, right? So it's gotta be Marco. There's gotta be like
Just
sad,
the
depressed, and quiet.
shy
And
boy
Sin
that
is just
doesn't
like
say
talking
anything.
to himself the entire time. And he's just happy to have somebody along with him on the journey. You know?
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
I can't explain it, but I hope you get the idea.
That's what I say when I can't fully articulate myself.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you guys get it. You get it. You got it. Oh, man. Stay in school, kids. I love this image in my head where I play the song to one of my incredibly depressed friends and they're just sitting there listening to it with the saddest facial expression ever.
You know, this is the first one that I actually picture being sung by the character.
So he's just waving his flag. He's at his own concert. It's like back in the day when they used to have the lighters and just wave it around.
Yeah. This one is just, it's so incredibly just Sin.
I really enjoy this aspect, though. This is something
Yeah, I do
I've
too.
always
I love it.
wanted to achieve. The state of zen that I always talk about, where I just get to enjoy everything. I'm still
Yeah.
working on it, but man, Sin's already there.
Yeah, I
Hopefully he never
strive to
loses
be
it.
Sin.
Strive, you say? You know what that reminds me of? This game called Guilty Gear Strive! Wow! You should try it out someday, Servi. It's really fun.
Yeah, I should.
Yes. Calling it now. In the Guilty Gear anime, he loses control of his legs.
I was sitting here, I'm like, I hope Guilty Gear doesn't do the thing that a lot of shows like to do, where the happy, just like pure innocent
That's
being just
exactly
goes through
what I
the
was
worst
thinking.
shit and
That's-
gets crushed completely.
That's
Don't
exactly
do it. Don't hurt
what
my
I was
boy.
thinking.
Don't do it.
It's like when you're watching a
Like
show
innocent being, keep being happy.
and it's like, man, this is way too happy. You know some shitstorm's about to happen in the next episode. That's just life, man. That's just life.
No.
This is also good workout motivation.
Work out. Come on, do it. It's subliminal messaging.
I mean, just look
On
at
the
Sin.
treadmill. Work out. I gotta keep running.
Bro, this guy, he at age 7 or whatever how old he is in Strive, already this built? Come on, man. You can do it too. That was unsurprisingly straightforward.
It's simple, but it might actually be one of my favorites.
It's just happy. I mean, Sin's happy.
Yeah.
He's enjoying life. All right. Now this one is going to be depressing. Yeah, there's got to be something about vengeance here. A revengeance, one might even
I was gonna
say.
say, I would assume it has something to do with the original Bedman too.
It's gotta. There might also be a section of the song. Maybe we get a little experimental. Maybe it's a little bit broken in order to signify like the bed's current state.
I suppose it could also be like going forward with like Bikin, but I would kind of hope it's more about Bedman.
Maybe even a send off to Bedman. The original, anyways. Oh!
That's not how I thought it would start. I like it though.
I see the
What did you say? Yeah. Circle
No
of
idea what
life?
that means. Yeah, maybe.
This is just the new age. Oh!
Circle!
Circle! Let's go! My favorite shape! I was gonna say, oh, what? Hold on. What are we doing?
Welcome to the Yanfana world.
Huh?
Oh.
Excuse me?
Keeps throwing me for a loop. I don't know.
We were just rocking it on. We were just getting it going, and then it was just like, "Welcome to the infinite world." What? No. I just wanted to say, I was trying to make that joke that it was like, "Oh, this is a new opening for the Lion King." It's just a new age in Lion King. But now we're, I don't know where we're going with this one.
What's my end game? There came a zero. Send here, there is a son of savior where no
What
peace
is it?
either. Where there is no beginning and no end. Real
I
life,
love the sound of this
and
one.
the words that won't go with the room my head.
I can sing this portion of the song. I can do it really well. Alright, well, now we're going into God. What? I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to compare this to.
I know. I'm struggling.
Trying to make connections here. There ain't no connections. It's all just going in a loop like a circle.
Circle.
Circle!
My favorite SpongeBob quote is just Patrick going rectangle. It's the same vibe.
This is reminding me of Axel's song. Box! Box!
Won't go
I'm here for it,
with
though.
the room my head. Waste to room my head. Nothing here. Big black, pure white, all the same. Endless, finite.
You know,
Copy that.
this sounds the epitome of like 14-year-old emo like rock.
Man, smells a whole lot like Teen Spirit in here.
It sounds really deep, but does it actually mean anything? I don't know.
It's very experimental. That I will say. Maybe this is the whole part where I was talking about, the song's got to be a little bit broken. It's not going to be very unified, and it's very almost glitchy in a way, and just like swapping. Oh, now we're on to something else. Like how Bedman moves in game with like the creaking and cracking of different joints. It kind of reminds me of like how this song is constantly switching between things. I don't know. Maybe it's a weird comparison, but that's what I think.
What's this song called?
The Circle.
The Circle? That's what I was thinking. Like, I bet.
It was a hard guess, I know, but yep. It's called The Circle. Was the edge of the circle there potentially referring to the planet Earth? I'm here on the edge of the circle.
Most of what we see of her in this is like more on her like mental instability. So like maybe it's like the border between like her going crazy and her kind of keeping it together. I don't know.
I think circle is going to mean many different things by the end of the song. Ultimately, it all amounts to a circle.
You know what? That is my favorite writing code.
Mm-hmm. Boy, don't I know.
One after the other, over and over again, I wish I knew pendulum. My left that can reach like that through the wall, but I can't find you with access to the back of my eyelids. Pitch black, you're white.
The back of your eyelids being your own self, your mind. There is no introspection.
Sure.
Like you're out of your mind? Like you're crazy? What? Man, I'm on a roll today. Catching all the references. Look, guys, don't mind me. I'm crazy. It's just disregard what I'm saying.
All the same. Endless, finite.
Copy that.
Copy that.
It is very contradictory, but I don't really know the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Infinite, finite, like black, white. Like, I don't. It's very.
The pitch black darkness part sort of reminds me of a Metallica song, but I don't think it really has any relation. That's all I've got.
like I the Somnia Pie.
Yeah!
We're good commentators. This is great.
Hey, at least this will be like the most unique reaction to the song on YouTube. There you go. Nobody can copy us.
We have nothing to add. No one can steal that from us.
Circle is Frank that. Circle! Yeah. Must feel so satisfying to just scream that out for no particular reason.
Circle!
Do you see the radiant light? Do you
The way he enunciates some lines I adore.
I do as well. It's great.
a tender one?
Well, I don't. No D? There is no God. There is only go. Well, on a more serious note, it does seem more of like a plea to somebody to look at this situation and how unfair it is. Come on, man, help me out here. Well, I don't feel your radiant light, so obviously you're not there.
It definitely feels like someone who's kind of lost and struggling and looking for meaning and purpose, but they don't really know where to start. I guess maybe that's the circle. There is no start.
There is no start. There is no end. I'm just standing here on the border of the circle. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, good analysis. You've been abandoned by God.
Can I fill a not tender one?
No.
Oh,
Putting your hand on the stove,
damn.
you feel nothing. You're numb inside.
Damn.
No home, no rest, no home. Copy that. I may not be able to make you smile, but I'll never make you cry, even once, never. I struggle to go outside the circle. Consuming 10 billion is an instant. I'm no time to you without a second thought. I'm here, I'm here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a plea for help.
I can't make you smile, but I'll never make you cry even once. Do you think maybe this is biking?
That's what I was thinking too, yeah. It seems like, yeah, the kind of that point where she was like about to explode and is just at her wit's end, just looking for, like, yeah, just any sort of hope.
Any
And that's where
escape
biking came in.
from this circle,
Mhm.
this path of vengeance.
She got literally trapped inside a giant sphere when that was happening too.
Yeah, she was. Imagine the circle was just that, literally. It's just, it's just in her large manosphere thing. But this was a really intriguing song. It was very different, very experimental,
I
very
enjoyed
crazy.
it, yeah.
Please let us know
Anything
more
that just
about
lets me
this
like yell shapes, I'm
Mhm.
down for.
one. The
Ooh, Asuka.
Gravity, Asuka's theme. You probably heard this because you did practice Asuka a bit.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it, but I definitely can't think of the lyrics off the top of my head.
What kind of song would fit a being such as that? A lot of...
Squares! We get squares with this one!
Oh
Cubes!
no! Cubes everywhere! All on my screen! I don't know what to block anymore! Is there a lot of regret about the things that he's done?
Probably.
The people
yeah.
that have been lost because of the decisions that had to be made? This desire to want to free his friend, the Mr. Bad Guy himself, from his own suffering? This
Mhm.
intense desire to go to the moon and start a podcast for some reason? It's got to have some sort of spacey feeling to it. That particular soundscape that you get whenever you're watching like a Star Wars film or really any film out in space. They have to have something like that, right? Yeah. Or, well, maybe not specifically that, but just the similar soundscape. I'm going to assume this one isn't going to be normal either, though. Asuka is just, he's not normal.
I would say Stargate, best star-themed space adventure.
I haven't seen it yet before, so gotta watch it someday.
Yeah. Stargate's great.
Never mind. Man has the galaxy in his coat.
I know, I love this coat.
Wait, what was
This
dude's
coat is
name?
what Kaito wishes it was.
I was gonna say, goddamn it, sir, why'd you steal my joke? I was gonna ask you, what was that guy's name? Luminary of the Stars from V3. God dang it.
I feel like Kaito would have a lecture for Asuka though. He's got a lecture for everyone.
Okay. Maybe something more akin to Ramlethal a complete outsider perspective then of the world as a whole and how things combine with each other and how people go about their day. Maybe something more like that.
Vanishing engenders. Emotional reason, future right. Your sins later, just lose better.
I forgot about his whole arcade story where he's literally just arguing with himself after making a clone of himself to talk to because he's awkward like that.
That's true.
Asuka's, he's very socially awkward.
Aren't we all?
As if a divine truth seeker. I find it something unseen. Play back to history, answers we bleed. Does existence have a meaning?
Good question.
The reality of a truth. One, two,
Yeah, I was gonna quote the beginning of Nier Automata, but then I couldn't remember the quote, right? Damn it.
You're almost cool, Serby. That's unfortunate.
Dang it! I'll never be cool.
Work harder at it. Maybe someday you'll be as cool as Asuka.
All I can remember is I have the Somnium Bus.
For this guy, yeah, it makes sense. He's got the backyard knowledge and the book that everybody wanted, and reality itself is kind of in the palm of his hand. What does this even mean? Why are we here? And wondering all these much deeper questions because he kind of already knows everything. Oh, no. Oh, God, the memes! The memes are the DNA of the soul, Serby. You can't use them like that.
as the universe turns black.
This part recommended just definitely.
If I fade beyond all, do you recognize me?
No, I thought you had cat ears.
Does meaning have meaning?
Now that's
This definitely is the perspective of someone who like has a ton of knowledge, but is kind of struggling to find the purpose in it or the use in it.
because with all of this knowledge, he can't fix everything. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that he wants to do and people that he wants to help, but it doesn't really help him because some things are just
Well,
impossible.
And then you get to the point of like kind of the losing emotion and feeling where it's like when you're stuck in that position so high above everything else where you're like, this could be the logical decision, but also potentially the cruelest versus like this one maybe doesn't have a perfect outcome, but maybe is more better for people. It's like you're left in that moral difficulty of what do I do when I know like all the outcomes or how to go about this, but I know no one will like it or like it isn't a good solution, but it's the solution, right?
He's reaching a state of being that is more akin to a god than it is a human. Especially, we're trying to evoke that with the organs in the background, as well as the chanting that is very similar to like a church choir or something like that. He's finding it extremely hard to tap into his emotions and care for things like all the other people do. He wants to, for sure, but he knows too much. All of the things that he's pondering, though, are very, like, shower thoughts kind of things.
Yeah. What does a god think when he showers? I can picture the cubes.
The mixing from left to right is kind of nutty.
It's a circle!
I wish I lived through it, share like this. I'm super divine, truth seeker, and rising.
Damn.
Chaotic. I like it.
Do you think maybe some of the chaos in the guitar solo, as well as the previous one, could be attributed to his conflicting thoughts of like him wanting to do something versus the logical solution to something versus what he knows will happen? I can imagine that is
external conflict against happy chaos.
God.
No, I agree with you.
Happy chaos is kind of the opposite of Asuka. Asuka's just way too
I mean,
organized.
Honestly, he is though.
Yeah.
Asuka's what you get with someone trying earnestly to like make sense of insurmountable knowledge and just order that whole kind of chaos of the universe. Whereas happy chaos is the opposite. It's like he has all that at his fingertips, but he'd rather just let it unfold as it comes.
Let there be chaos,
In fact,
he says.
most of happy chaos's like conflicts internally come from the fact that he does still ultimately have a plan or like order to it, and he would rather just have it all be chaos.
Find it, something unseen. Play back the history, answers within.
I learn a lot from history. Back to the shower thoughts. Bro watched Interstellar. He knows.
I haven't actually seen Interstellar.
Well, those of you who have, you get what I'm referring to. Nearing the end here, he's more talking about love and emotion, and he's sort of unlocking that side of himself a bit more, I would say. As somebody who's also looking at the end of the universe, he's constantly asking whether these emotions, these connections, will have any sort of meaning in the end. And yeah, that makes sense. I feel like a lot of beings that are portrayed in media like this usually have that sort of dilemma because they're here and everybody else won't be.
Well,
And they'll be here till the end of time.
Emotions can defy logic. So when you kind of find yourself in that kind of outwardly kind of fact logic focused mindset, emotions start feeling unnecessary. But ultimately, that is kind of the definition of human, right? So having to kind of pull yourself back and let yourself feel those emotions, bringing back that humanity almost a little bit.
Becomes quite a struggle, so much so that you start making clones of yourself to start having debates. Because you can't really do any introspection anymore. You just don't really feel much. You need somebody else with a logical thinking mind. Definitely. So awkward. But he gets there in the end. I would love to see somebody who's more knowledgeable about music sort of break that down, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There's probably a lot hidden within the music itself that completely goes over our head.
It usually is.
I mean, especially the circle one. What was that? It's Johnny time. It has to be cowboy, right? Gotta be country music. Yeah?
I was thinking Western.
Gotta be about how cool he is. About how many women love him, maybe? I don't know. About how lucky he gets. It's literally one of his skills. It's just he's lucky. Either that or it's wholesome and it's about him making the jellyfish pirates or whatever they're called.
It's just him running away from me. It's the opposite of her song.
Sounds about right.
Just listen what's called the years, the word of the guy who was hated by
I've heard this one before.
God of failure.
It was
I must have
probably
watched a
when,
reaction to this one.
maybe that or when I was beating your ass while playing Johnny.
Possibly.
Just lean.
Just lean. I imagine whenever Johnny has a problem, he just strikes a JoJo pose and fixes the problem.
Yeah. Naturally. That's about it.
Of course, you have to. What?
Clearly he wasn't in the room with Asuka.
Yeah. Not living by the rules, okay. He tore up the tax books. I salute you.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the thickest books I know. I feel like this is going in a similar direction as Sins, but it's from a much more experienced perspective.
This is what Sin grows up to be.
Oh no. Sin hung around Johnny for too much.
Don't do it.
Oh no.
It's a bad influence. Get him away.
Is Johnny the worst influence in Guilty Gear? I think not, but...
No, probably not. He's not the best influence.
Who was hated? Oh, you're talking about yourself, because you never lose. That's right. So lucky. Johnny is most certainly a wild card. You never really know what to expect. When he's gonna show up either. He's just there sometimes.
True.
Granted, he did help out a lot of people, though. Underneath all of that, there is a good man there. Maybe. Look, at least he's in a better situation than Zato is currently, alright?
I mean, low bar.
When life shoots a bullet at you, just lead.
He says half the world is my love out.
There you go. Oh, man. All the women love me. All of them do. Like, what else is half the world supposed to mean? All the men love me. Oh, yeah. Johnny accepts all.
All the women love me. All the men want to be me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind having, like, Johnny's bod. That seems pretty gnarly. Like, how many days?
I mean, yes, yeah.
I don't know if you could achieve that sort of bod without steroids. Not gonna lie.
It's a mess, but nobody think it's a joke. Whether it be a mother, sister, or daughter.
Excuse me?
Whatever he can talk about.
What are you saying, Johnny?
Personally, I prefer mother, but whatever you want, just go for it. You're not hurting anybody. As long as they're above the age of consent.
Yes.
Johnny's he's just a funny little guy, you know? He's just the guy the god of failure hates. Because he can't lose. I am very curious where this line is heading, though. Like, imagine this as a conversation starter. Like, whoa. Where you go, Johnny? Hold up, Johnny.
Yeah. Pull it back.
Whatever he doesn't talk about, fake love, the outlaw. No age can judge him. Truth is always born in the mind. If the thick moon had a show in the right of bad, would you have ripped it up? Just lean, sing, let's go.
I wonder if by thick book he's referring to anything in particular. I don't think so. It's probably more just like a book of laws of how life should be lived. At least that's what I'm imagining.
Giant fat book that Asuka smacks you with it.
Oh, yep. Like, isn't that the thing
The
that
tone
everybody
of
wants?
whatever.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
you know, God, it became a god. On the other side of things, you know, the truth is what you make in your mind. It's similar to Asuka's truth, reality. It depends on what you decide is the truth. There's so many different
I think
perspectives.
it just means he's going in to become a politician.
Johnny for president?
I'd vote for him.
Yeah, actually,
Wait.
I would.
I don't.
I think he'd be like
yeah.
one of the lesser evils. That's usually how these these votings go.
That's true. Who would he be running against, though?
If he ran against Chip, Chip would win.
That's true. I would vote for Chip.
Is the word of the guy who was hated by the guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Just lean, sing, let's go. That is the word of the guy who followed the heart without falsehood.
Such a free spirit, man. Going around, making everybody fall in love with him. Because I'm just
Just imagining,
that guy.
you know, 2 years ago in the Macy's Day Parade, how Luffy's hat deflated. Just
Yeah.
imagining Johnny's giant hat deflated. I don't know why, but it's.
Oh, even the goddess loves me.
more shapes. If you're hated by the god of failures, would that mean you fail more or less? Like, if you were to be mad at you.
That's a conundrum, actually. Because technically speaking, it's one of those situations where if you succeed, then you've, like, failed successfully in a way? From what the god of failure wanted you to fail at? Jokes aside, within the context of the song, it's because he never loses. That's just his thing. He's just incredibly lucky.
I know.
Yeah. Jesus. That extreme confidence. But it's not unwarranted, because he doesn't. He doesn't fail.
Yeah.
A free spirit, incredibly easygoing. Anything bad happens, just lean. It's not incredibly in-depth, and the song itself isn't, like, experimental, like with Happy Chaos or with Bedman, but it fits his character. This is just who Johnny is. What'd you think of the 5 songs today? Favorites? Least favorite?
I think my favorite is Sins. We started with one that hit a little too close to home. but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But it was nice to jump from that right into Sins. We're just having fun. We're here.
That's really funny, though. Bridget is so, like, unsure of herself until the end, and Sid is just like, work out! Yeah! I'd have to say my favorite is probably The Circle or Sins. Just to be different from y'all, choose Circle. Because that was
like
very...
The Circle. It's a fun...
It's fun to listen to because it's just so different.
I'd probably, I'd put them as my 1 and 2 also.
I felt like Johnny's, though, unfortunately, was like probably the most lackluster. It was just them talking about how everybody loves him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be it from us today, my dudes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.